Hello, friends. Okay, so my name is Lizzie, and today we're going to share a little bit about back to school, okay, and how we're getting back to school. So I'm just trying to see what's like really bright. Is that better? It's a little bit better. Okay, much better. Okay, so getting back to school, next week is the first day of school. So actually in Vegas, it is on August 8th. So getting back to school is not just something that is just for kids. It's actually everyone in the family has to do. So it takes the whole family to do it. So just full disclaimer, I am Lizzie, and I am not a dietitian. I am not a psychologist. I am not a doctor. I am literally just a human, a woman who is a homemaker first. And that means that my job, my first and foremost job, is to protect my family. So that is my full disclaimer. And so, like I said, sharing today about back to school and using Hub of the Heart to just get ready to go back to school. And what that means, Hub of the Heart, is basically our family brand that incorporates everything that has to do with your heart, whether it's physically, your heart, mentally, and financially. Okay. So, and you can say that money has nothing to do with my well-being. That's so weird. It's really mind, body, and soul. But I feel like your soul always is kind of the outcome of taking care of all of those components. Okay. And I feel like God fits in that emotional state. Okay. Because he is very in my emotional well-being. So anyway, so back to school. So the ways that we kind of get back to school and the things that we teach Isabella physically. So we'll focus on the body first because that's the acronym that we use to stay on track, BMW. And I need to learn how to just breathe when I'm going live. So I'm going to use a little bit of peppermint because I use peppermint for everything, especially when I'm trying to breathe and focus at the same time. Okay. Just helps me breathe just a little bit. Okay. All right. So, body. So the way that we try to help Isabella, so we are a primarily plant-based household. I do not make anything that isn't plant-based. We mostly focus on the vegetable as the main event versus the side, because what we know about food and nutrients is that animal products, and this is public knowledge, animal product creates inflammation. Inflammation is the number one culprit for every single diagnosis, every single disease. It causes just a lot of problems. So why would I, knowing that animal product causes inflammation? And that's not just meat, it's also dairy. So dairy is horrible for our stomachs. You could say all day, and like some of us, like even if I go into Isabella's school, they have a poster that says that milk builds strong bones, and that is actually false. So it's just these archaic slogans, these marketing. It's still in our kids' minds. They look at it every day. So we always need to be the ones that are creating those good habits and the foundation for our children. And kind of what we've learned with all of the research and all of the studies of what is causing all of these diseases and cancers and all of this heart disease, it's the standard American diet. It's the fact that we just constantly eat processed foods, lots of sugars, lots of sodiums, lots of animal products. And we kind of treat produce and vegetables and plants as they're just not as important, because they don't taste as good as this processed food. So just kind of rewriting that. And the way that we do that with Isabella, especially in her school lunch. So she knows that her school lunch needs to have components of things that are going to support her. And the way that she kind of has her guideline, we focus on, so there's 6 main vitamins that you really want to make sure that you're getting every day. And that's vitamin A, vitamin B, C, D, E, and K. There's 6. Okay. And of course you have your proteins, your fibers, and then watching your sugars and your sodiums. So that's really just the main scope of what we focus on with her, because if a 10-year-old can tell the difference between a good meal and a bad meal, and when I say bad meal, it means it's not going to fuel you. It may taste good, it may be fun, it may be entertaining, but it's not going to fuel you. Okay. So she knows whenever she feels down or she feels sick or she feels something, it's because of what she ate. Normally it's 99.9% of the time because of what she ate. She knows that. So if a 10-year-old can figure that out, I think that us adults can figure it out. And she actually knows more than a lot of doctors too. So whenever we go to a doctor, we're like, hey doc, like, what's going on with me? They don't know. They didn't go to school for nutrition. They didn't go to school to fuel your body. They went to school to study medicine. So we can't be mad at them when they don't give us the right answer or when they just write us a prescription. They studied prescriptions. They studied medicine. So that's the thing that we have to just take back with our families. We have to remember that we are the gatekeepers of our homes. And I'm a homemaker before I am a businesswoman, before I am a leader in my team, before I am anyone else. I'm here to build a safe place for my family. And that is anything that has to do with what you're putting in and on your body will affect everything. So that's what she focuses on. So just going through the A, B, C, D, E, and K. Vitamin A is very simple. It helps your eyes. So we're going to put some carrots. Vitamin B is a B for bacteria. It's a good bacteria. It's not found in any meats or anything, any animals. It's actually found in dirt. It is the good bacteria and the trace minerals on dirt, which is going into our produce. Nowadays, with modern sanitation and just over sanitation, actually, the vitamin B is actually not found on our food anymore because we have just stripped it and we've just like become so obsessed with like sanitation and this and that. It's like the good bacteria, like in our tummies, those are really good, and those are going to help us and support our guts and the microbiome. So like think about that in the same sense. So you really can't get your B's other than if you supplement, but I mean soybeans have it, like soybean, like soy milk, edamame. This is another one that we love to use. So this is nutritional yeast. Okay, literally it is dried yeast. It's awesome. But it has like a cheesy taste to it. And it's really, it's actually really flavorful. So we use it for different dishes. Like you can use it in pesto. You can use it in mac and cheese. Isabella loves to use it in mac and cheese. So she knows that if she makes mac and cheese, then you could throw some broccoli in there because she loves broccoli too. But we're going to start making more of that. But she loves her mac and cheese. So she knows that when she's using her mac and cheese, she knows exactly what it says on the label. We've taught her how to read labels. And if you look at the label, it's actually quite astonishing. And I wish that you could, I don't know if you can see that. I know it's backwards, but it's awesome. So if you look at it right here, so protein, there's 5 grams of protein. Amazing, right? And the serving size is only 2 tablespoons, which I use 2 tablespoons even when we make our mac and cheese. So it's awesome. And then obviously you can see all of these B's in here. So it's anywhere from B1, B2, all the way to B12. And all of these B's really just have to do with, and don't forget, the sodium, 20 grams, like nuts, right? Because you want to watch your sodium. You don't want to eat a bunch of salt for what? Like, why? So the B's are really going to help you be awesome, right? I like try to like figure out these like ways to remember these nutrients. Be awesome. Your nervous system, your brain, your blood, so many different things that B's do. But unfortunately, because they're not really found in foods anymore, we have to supplement. Of course, we have our our vitamin that we take. But I always like to incorporate as much nutrition into our food, just because you don't want to be sitting there like being like, oh, I take this. Like, I live a horrible lifestyle and I eat horrible food, but I take this big old horse pill of a multivitamin, so I'm good. Like, I don't ever want to like teach that to Isabella or this new one. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is a big one. That's why I'm a little bit out of breath right now. So I'm just trying to keep with my schedule and keep doing what I need to do. But yes, he's sitting like literally on my diaphragm. But anyway, so just teaching her that you need to really use food as a tool for a better way, better health. Don't just focus on taking like vitamins and this and that, which vitamins are awesome, but they're called supplements. They supplement your already awesome lifestyle where you're active and you're not taking in a bunch of junk. So this is B. Okay. Vitamin C is, think of citrus, think of oranges, think of, broccoli actually has a lot of vitamin C. Spinach has a lot of vitamin C. It's not just fruits. It's not just your citrus fruits, but for her, she would think of like her broccoli and her oranges to put in her lunch. So I'm talking about when we're doing her lunch. This is what I'm talking about. Her A, B, C, D, E, and K. Okay. D. Vitamin D is amazing. Vitamin D, we need vitamin D. It's actually the Mac Daddy of of vitamins, because if you don't have vitamin D, but you're taking like vitamins A, C, D, like all these other vitamins, it's really not helpful to you, because vitamin D helps you absorb those other vitamins and other nutrients and other amazing things going into your body. So if you just want to do one good thing for yourself today, is get vitamin D into your body. Like, that's all. If you could do that, then you're going to be a lot better than you were before. Foods that have vitamin D for Isabella to remember is mushrooms. So I was never a really big fan of mushrooms, because they just had a weird texture when I was growing up. I know my mom really liked them. My dad didn't. So I just kind of copy what your parents say and do, right? They didn't taste bad to me. They were just kind of in a weird texture. But now there's so many different mushrooms. Like for me, I can't drink coffee. I mean, I can do whatever I want, but I don't want to drink coffee, because what is that going to do for me? That's going to strip all the nutrients that I have putting into my body. It's going to make me antsy, get my nervous system all jacked up, and it's actually dehydrating me. So what I do is I just drink shrooms, like that mud water, because it's just so much better. So I don't use mud water. I use a different brand, but it's just really amazing. So the power of shrooms and mushrooms are just awesome. So Isabella knows that if she makes her spaghetti, because she cooks, she's learning how to cook and like be independent and make her own things and use the oven and the stove and all of the things. We don't have a microwave, and we haven't had a microwave in probably like, I want to say like almost 7 years. We haven't had a microwave. So she's 10 years old. She has never really used a microwave like at her house ever, because I don't personally believe that anything you're putting in your microwave is going to be good for you. Because if it was good initially, you just stripped all the nutrients out by nuking it. So it's just not productive to our life. We just don't. If you do, that's, you know why you do it, why you don't do it. But that's just what we do. So she makes her shrooms and her spaghetti. And then we make mushrooms basically like anytime I can ever put mushrooms in anything we do. I go to Costco, I get the shiitakes, I get the baby bellas, I get the portobellos, the huge ones. So you make them with different things. So it's super cool. They're very versatile. So we're on, what was that? A, B, C, D, and now we're on E, vitamin E. Vitamin E, Isabella knows that vitamin E is going to be for your skin. It's in a lot of nuts. So if you think about like vitamin E, like we all know like that little, like it's like a gel. It almost looks like there's oil in it, but it's vitamin E oil, and it's really good for your skin. So nuts. So you can get, I get like the trail mix, and of course there's little like M&Ms in there. Like, I don't really like to get the M&M ones. Like we get them for road trips and stuff, but I don't want to ever get her taste buds thinking that like if it's going to be nutritional, it needs to be like fake sugar, like chocolate or something, or M&Ms, because there's real chocolate, but then there's M&Ms. That's not real. And then vitamin K, which is the last one, the sixth one that we focus on. Vitamin K is amazing for your like any bruises, like healing of your muscles, your body, anything like that. So she takes Krav. It's Krav Maga, which basically means like close combat in Israeli or Hebrew. And so it's basically self-defense, and they use multiple types of MMA. They use Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, and Krav. So it's self-defense, but it's also endurance training. It's discipline. It's self-control. It's knowing that you have the power to, but you still choose to have self-control. So you only really need to use these things that they learn, and she trains 4 times a week. So you don't really have to use these, just walking up to people. They're really for self-defense. So that vitamin K, especially when you have, when you're training like that, you do have bruises, and that's going to help your body heal. Okay. So yeah, those are the 6 vitamins that she knows that she needs to pack in her lunch. Also, I just try to keep it really simple that we need to stay under 6 grams of fake sugar. So if we're having like even a nutritional bar is like so not nutritional at all. Like a Nutri-Grain bar, let's like, don't listen to the words that it says on the label, and then you turn it around and there's actually no nutritional value whatsoever. It's pretty actually comical. But when it comes to like, okay, we have our boba and we have our cookie. Okay, let's stay under 20 grams of sugar for the day. Okay, perfect. She knows that. And then we like to get at least 20 grams of protein. So we want to make sure, like, if she was eating like a whole pot of mac and cheese, she's going to get 5 grams, and then so on and so forth. Another thing that I make, so I drank it a little while ago, so it's still here. So this is like our green juice. Okay, so us as a family, we just wake up in the morning, first thing in the morning, and we make just a blender of nutrients, literally nutrients. So I start off with a little water. I put spinach or super greens, which is actually kale and spinach and another green in there. I throw that in there. I put some carrots, celery, cucumber. Cool. Put sometimes a banana. I don't put a lot of fruit in there just because it's still sugar. I understand it's natural sugar. It's still sugar. Try not to make everything so sweet because, again, we're training our taste buds. We're training our family's taste buds, but especially our children. So I put that in there. Chia seeds and pea protein. And then I put Nisha, which is a goji berry. I've talked about it before. It's basically the highest level of antioxidants that you can possibly get. Nisha wolfberry is just an amazing antioxidant, and we want to have antioxidants in our bodies because the free radicals that are going into our bodies, whether it's from environmental, whether it is from things we're putting in and on our body, things that we can't control. We don't have a lot of free radicals in our home because I've committed to not doing that. Just keeping our home a safe place. But yes, no, Isabella goes to school. They have air fresheners, the plugins, they have Clorox bleach, all of those crazy things. But in a nutshell, This is going to get rid of those free radicals. Free radicals cause oxidative stress. Oxidative stress causes disease, inflammation. Just like I talked about before, it's not just animal products that can cause this. It's smoking, it's drinking, and it's also bad thoughts and stress. Okay, with the cortisol levels that we have going on. So all of that can wreak havoc on our systems. So if you take something that's gonna, and you only need to take literally this pouch, like she'll take this pouch to school, but I'll also put it in our juice, okay? Put that, and then some greens. I personally believe that everyone should have a green powder. I understand that we are eating really well and we're eating good food, but at the same time, just like I said about the bees, our soil isn't the same. Our soil is tainted. Our soil has fertilizers. It has pesticides. Like, it has all of those things. Unless you literally are living on a virgin garden where there's none of that, and you know where it's all coming from, then I can honestly say, okay, yes, there's not a lot of chemicals in there, but just having a green powder is amazing. So this has like mushrooms. It's very concentrated levels of all of the things that I shared. So it's just kind of like a boost. Green powder is like a boost. Okay, it's not a replacement. It's a supplement, right? Okay. So you just one scoop in the blender, and the blender literally makes all three of our cups. Ryan's, Isabella's, and mine, and like these are the size of the cups. Like a little stem. But it just gives you all of that, like protein, all of those nutrients, all first thing in the morning. Get your body ready, craving whatever you're about to put in, because whatever you put in the morning is what you're going to crave for the rest of your day. And I made the mistake a couple of times of just like skipping my juice and going straight for a bagel. And then all day long, I'm craving bread. And I'm like, well, this isn't really nutritional. Like, so anyway, so that's like her lunch, what she does, and she makes sure that she does that. That's her body. Moving on to mind, her mind, the way that we kind of cultivate just progressive mindset is doing your daily inventory. So I do my daily inventory, try to do it every single morning, wake up early, try to do that first thing in the morning. What happened? And I journal. It's basically journaling. What happened yesterday? What did I do right? What did I do wrong? Who do I need to make amends with? And so on and so forth. What am I going to do next? So every day when I see Isabella, we kind of do it. We started doing it more at the table, which is kind of cool because then, Ryan shares his, Isabel shares hers, and me too. So it's a good conversational piece, and it's a good learning experience. But I just ask her when I see her after school, it's like, what was the best part of your day? What was the most challenging? And what did you learn from that? What are you going to do different from learning from that? What did that teach you? So that helps her build her brain and understand what her thoughts are. Like, you may be sad right now because something happened that was challenging for you, that made you really sad. But guess what? It's awesome because now you learn from it. You don't want to be like that person, or you don't want to act that way that you reacted to someone who maybe tested your patience. So that's a big one. Just being there, especially after school with Isabella, I've seen such a difference in her versus like having her go to Safe Key and then picking her up at the end of the day, because she's already had a full day. Isabella wakes up at 5:00 in the morning, and she wakes up to her alarm. Like, we've just implemented where she wakes up to her alarm, she gets up, she puts her 15-minute timer on where she goes into the bathroom, does everything she needs in the bathroom for 15 minutes, and then she comes into her room, does everything for 15 minutes, and she's basically done in 30, but then she has an extra 30 to do whatever she wants to do, but she also needs to get downstairs and like do her lunch and stuff. So time management for kids is important because, because they don't know how to manage their time from society. Like they know that they're being rushed at school and this and that. It's not society's um, like it's not their thing that they should be doing. It's ours. We should be teaching our kids how to time manage, how to public speak, how to lead, how to read labels. Like Isabella knows how to read labels like nobody's business. Like she knows, like if we get cereal, if there is double digits for sugar in that cereal, like we're not getting it, period. And she knows that. She's not even going to ask, and she's not even going to be like, why? Oh my gosh, my life is so hard. She knows that like the reason why we don't do that is because it could harm us. It will harm us. It's not like could, it will harm us. There will be a direct effect because we will get sick. Our body cannot handle that much sugar. Whether you're used to it or not, it's not good. So just going back to just that they are mini humans. So they don't know what they're doing yet, and they don't know what they don't know because their parents are supposed to teach them. It's not society's responsibility. That's the word I'm looking for. Responsibility to teach them. It's our responsibility. Okay, so it's not the teachers, it's not the principals, it's not her coach. It is our responsibility. So another thing that we're going to focus on too this year is just being a little bit more proactive at school. So right now, Isabella, I have to put on her office paper that says that her allergies. Her allergies are Clorox wipes, Lysol spray, and air fresheners. Because they are. Okay, they are. So they know that she's not allowed to touch, like if they like, like they have to clean their desk and stuff. Like she has her own stuff that she uses, but like if she touches, they need her to help or whatever, she has to wear gloves or something because it's not worth it, because whatever you put in and on your body, because this is the largest organ, it affects you, because what happens is you basically get high, but not even like a good high. Like it's like your eyes are just really red. You can't focus, you're fatigued, you're agitated. And you can't breathe. Like yesterday I was exposed, to a lot of fragrance in a car. And I was like I literally couldn't breathe. And I was like, why can't, like, what is happening? I literally feel like my chest was like, the baby sing, I get that, but I was like hyperventilating, but I couldn't breathe. Like I couldn't take a deep breath. And I was like, okay, I was poisoned. Okay, got it. Get in the shower, wash my hair, wash everything off. My body just doesn't tolerate it anymore because I'm not around it in my home and in my office. I try to keep my area a little bit more purified. But it affects you. And if it affects me, it's going to affect her. And then you wonder why all of the kids in school, you have plugins or you have all of these things going on, they can't focus. They're losing it. And, but they put a stamp on it that says they have ADD. So their gut is messed up from all of the processed foods and all of the non-nutritional foods that they're eating, because their gut is their second brain. And then they're being exposed to fragrance. Fragrance is the worst thing ever. It is an umbrella of things that people put in that one word. It was basically, it was normally used for like a trade secret for like companies like Johnson & Johnson to keep that smell, that scent that you smell, that's Johnson & Johnson. They don't have to tell you what's in that scent. They just put fragrance. But nowadays, what they do, it's umbrella for all of these toxic chemicals that really just wreak havoc on our everything, especially our hormones, our brain, our nervous system, and everything. But now other companies that don't even have a good scent, you're like, why is there fragrance in there? It's really just a way for them to shove all these chemicals without you seeing what it is. Because if you ever saw what it really was in that word chemical, they wouldn't be able to sell it. Of course, people would always buy it because they don't look at the labels, but people that look at labels would never buy that. But if you know anything about fragrance, you know that using fragrance is the worst thing ever, and there is a different way. So that's why this year we're going to get her teacher a kit, just a diffuser, which is, for her classroom, because I know that you want your classroom to smell good. So we're just going to get her a diffuser, and then just get like 3 simple oils, because you don't want to overcomplicate it ever. So you get one for immunity, one for focus, and one for calm. And that's going to help just everyone, especially the teacher. So just like a little gifting tip, something like that, because I know for a fact, if you can have a plug-in air freshener in your room, you can definitely have a diffuser. So the last thing that I wanted to touch on was the W in BMW, which is the financial part of Hubb the Heart. So when you are taking care of, and you're teaching your children how to take care of their body and their mind, it saves you money, because you're not missing so much work because they're not sick, because they're taking care of their body nutritionally and, with vitamins and everything. And also they're being more efficient with their time, because listen, they're not sitting there like so fatigued and so like high out of their minds, and they can actually like do what they need to do. I know when Isabella has lost her mind and she can't focus, because she'll just like walk around like, sometimes she's just kind of like in her own little land, but like sometimes she is a little bit, I know when she comes home after school, after being poisoned all day, and if she doesn't take a shower, I can see that she is like, her eyes are red and she can't focus. So we just have her take a shower and then come down, reset, put your oils on, and then we'll go on from there. So you save time and money, because you're not at the doctor all the time. And she's more efficient with her time. So that is all I have for back to school. I know it was over a little bit of a learning curve, especially with just trying to teach our kids how to take care of themselves in a more sustainable way, that we don't have to worry about like, oh my gosh, don't touch this, don't touch that. But if we teach them like, you don't want to do this to your body, because guess what? Your body is on your side. And if you don't help your body succeed, you're not going to succeed. Okay. You could sit there and eat junk food and eat candy all day, but guess what? Isabella's felt the effects of that. And there's times where she'll literally be like, do you want this? Do you want that? Like sweet wise. And she's like, no, because she remembers that she got sick. So it is really important for them to just remember that. So that's all I have. And you guys have any questions, you can go to my website, Hubb of the Heart, or you can just ask them on here, or you can go to my Instagram, Lizzie Hubble, and I will see you guys later. Bye.